I mean, can we say at this point, after all the anti-Semitic rants and everything, that Kanye is just no longer canceled? I mean, he had a #1 song. The album did great. Vultures 2 is out.
Amazing album. I mean, I always said from the beginning.
I don't know about amazing. It was pretty good.
I mean, there's some amazing songs on there.
Had a few tracks.
I won't say it's like, Ultralight Beam where I played it from beginning to end, or whatever. But I'm also not a hip hop head like that. You know more about hip hop than I do. Like, I said from the beginning, I believe cancel culture just rents space in all of our head. It's a temporary thing, and people like try to hang on to it. And he is a cultural icon. I said that if he puts out a pair of shoes, it's gonna sell out. He's just, that's what he is. And that, I think, is the thing Charlamagne was talking about, that, we have this sick relationship with him where you cancel him and then he comes back, he's uncanceled, and he's canceled. So I don't know if he's uncanceled. I think there's probably spaces in which, people will probably not deal with him. I don't think Balenciaga's going to do a deal with him after what he did.
Well, yeah, corporate America, I think, is probably done with Kanye because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
You go and do this deal and you invest hundreds of millions and so forth, and suddenly he goes off and does God knows what.
Or just decides that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
He doesn't want to do it anymore. Yeah. And, whether it's Adidas or a world tour that he just randomly cancels one night, and everything shuts down, and you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of damage that go along with it. I think if you're like a public corporation, you're probably going to say, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a private company, sure, probably make some money with them.
I mean, I understand what he was trying to illustrate. How he said it was wrong, how he went about it was wrong. The White Lives Matter post with Candace Owens, wrong. The anti-Semitic comments were wrong. But I think in a weird, sick way, and I think I've said this to you, I've said this to somebody, that he's proven his point of saying that we as Black people that don't own stuff or whatever, can be canceled or have everything taken away. I think he used himself in a way to claim being a martyr, which isn't going to make sense to anybody.
No.
But in his own sick way will make sense to him.
Well, he did it to himself.
Because
without those anti-Semitic rants, we'd all be looking forward to the new Yeezys again.
Right. But in a weird, sick way, he will say, "I told you." And I think people have to understand accountability culture is a real thing that everybody should have. And I think that when you say things to intentionally hurt people, communities, groups, or whatever, that you should be held accountable. But at the same time, I think as Black people, and this is what I believe, being somebody that's created his own, literally rag to riches story, who came from nothing. I was here and told my whole story, which, by the way, everybody that listens to your interview now knows me because they've heard everything.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. I don't find excuses in people or groups of why I don't have shit. Like, you get up every day with the opportunity to get shit, and you just get it, or you don't, but you have to own your don't in it. And I'm not saying that to say that I'm anti-reparation or anti-DEI or all that, because all those things are important too. But I also feel like Ye has been blessed in a way that a lot of people have not been able to be blessed with, building community. We had a conversation where the Saudis were going to give him $1 billion to build his own infrastructure, to have his own everything.
Really?
So why even care what Gap and Balenciaga or Adidas are going to do when you have $1 billion and you have the Saudis backing you? Yeah, that's what we were building. So how is it that, I don't even know how he got distracted by all that.
But what exactly was he going to build with that $1 billion?
What we were building was this company called Donda, which under it had multiple pillars. And under my pillar was, he approached me and said, he wanted to do the interview. We did the interview. And after he saw the interview and after we did the Black Future Brunch, and he saw the power of bringing a community of people together who are storytellers, he said, well, what if we bought all of these properties, all these media properties? I said, and he listed all of the ones that he wanted to buy. You weren't on the list, but
it's okay.
Important one, but I don't think you would have sold. But anyway, he had all this list, whatever, and so I was on top of that, kind of guiding the vision of what that would look like and how we can create this ecosystem where, we could, control the narrative for the culture. This is when I thought this was the Ye who was coming back to the culture, who was focused, who was getting healthy, who was going through his stuff. And then we had fashion and music and then all these different pillars, right? Education, so we had the school, and he had hired the most amazing team of people on each pillar. and that he was going to get funding for that. And they had made a commitment of $1 billion. He just had to go to the Saudi Arabia to finish the process. And he ended up not going, and the team went without him, and it became this whole thing. And I didn't go, of course, but
he didn't show up to a $1 billion meeting. Is that the most Kanye thing to do ever?
So, mind you now, okay, let's if, for the sake of better words, get in my shoes, okay? I'm in this thing, this bubble, building this thing that I believe in because I've been advocating for Black-owned media and really wanting to like drive home the ability for us to own our voices and stuff. Here I am watching this all unfold where why are we fighting with Adidas and Gap when we have the commitment to build on our own? Like, that is still the one thing in me that I just do not understand from that whole experience of how we lost sight of the vision and how we got distracted and derailed into all of that. But that's why I stepped away, and he respected me doing that. And that's why I still have love for the guy. I haven't ran into him in a while, but if I did, it would be all love. And, yeah.